BBC Universe.
Hello Avians, and welcome back to the main channel. Today we're talking all things who is better, Mrs. Flood or Susan Twist. This is character-wise, this is not actor-wise, and I know that technically you can't call her Susan Twist. Because Susan Twist wasn't her character, that's the name of the actor. But sadly, because of so many different characters, and because in the end she was just Sutek, she really is still just Mrs. Susan Twist to me. And at this moment in time, we have no idea who on earth Mrs. Flood is. So which is better in the sense of character? In the sense of being there within the episodes? With the sense... That's really it, really. So let's talk about the beginning. So, who is the better cameo character? Well, with Susan Twist, the Doctor noticed Susan Twist, but with Mrs. Flood, the Doctor never noticed that Mrs. Flood is there. I don't think he's ever acknowledged her. I don't think he's ever interacted with her. And I don't think he'll ever interact until the 24th of May, which I think will be the date that they meet, they interact, they fight, they attack, and they do all the things, yes, that you expect from that type of person. And I think that Susan Twist was very good at showing herself. Let the Doctor have an inkling that he recognises her, and then the whole event occurring. So I think that is an excellent way for a villain to react within this situation. So currently, we've got no further confirmation of what Anita Dobson will be talked about, because she tried to keep it a hush-hush, because she now knows, you can tell in her eyes on Doctor Unleashed, that she knows that her true purpose in this show, but yet the audience have no clue, and that is impressive sometimes. Because it's going, whoa, 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 yo. And I think that just makes it more interesting in a way. It makes it more exciting in a way. And it also, yes, it also makes you wonder, what on earth is going on? And so, one aspect, Susan Twist is like, hi, I'm Susan Twist, aka Sutek. I'm evil. I'm not going to tell you I'm evil, but I am evil. And I will destroy you. And then on the other hand, Mrs. Flood is, don't tell anyone I'm here. Shh, I'm talking to the wall. Now I'm talking to the fourth wall. I'm breaking the camera. Look over there. Oh no. Do. And she's got more aggression, if you will. I think that she's more active in trying to say, look, I'm here. There's an error. Something's happening. I will tell you why. I will deny it to the end of the earth to prove a point. This isn't going to happen, but we're going to keep on denying it until the possible date. And so, there we have it. As we round off this extremely fascinating comparison, who do I think is better, Susan Twist or Mrs. Flood? Well, as you know, and as I've been talking about for the last 43 seconds out of the 5 minutes of this video, I said that Mrs. Flood was a lot more inconspicuous than Susan Twist. I think the ending for Susan Twist was quite good, so I'm excited to see if Mrs. Flood's got a similar exit than she had when she entered into power in the competition is heating up. And the red corner, all the way from intergalactic space probably, is Mrs. Flood, aka Anita Dobson, who was in Curfew and Generation Z last year, as well as Doctor Who. I am the blue corner, all the way from outer space probably. But it's her real name, because she's got no character names that I know of or remember. It's one and only Rusty Davis's friend, Susan Twist. Yes, the competition is heating up. Before we go any further, this will be in the Omnibus because I've just done that cracking intro, but there will be an Omnibus in the future. So if you don't know what this is right now, there'll be an Omnibus. It'll be an 18-hour Omnibus. I'm only joking, it won't be 18 hours, it'll be depending on how long this video is, it'll be added up to the 6 minutes. If this is 10 minutes, it's 6 out of 10. So, let's more talk about the Floods and the Twists. Yes, Mrs. Twist, Susan Twist, and Mrs. Flood. Now, is Mrs. Flood a reference to the flood from Waters of Mine? But would you mind? Don't talk about Doctor Who here. No. I don't want to talk about Indiana Jones. No, I don't want to talk about Harrison Ford. I want to talk about Anita Dobson and Susan Twist. Thank you very much. So, shush. Oh, sorry about those rude birds. They're chirping away. No, I'm not having any of that. Thank you very much. I'm here to talk about Doctor Who, not the contents of Harrison Ford's handbag in the Indiana Jones franchise. And so, today, let's talk. Who is Mrs. Flood? Well, Mrs. Flood seems to be someone that moves around a lot. So, one minute she lives opposite Ruby Sunday, next she lives next door to Belinda Chandra, and now she lives in the 50s. Right? And she believes in a conspiracy over the 24th of May, which, in my opinion, makes no sense. And I am curious to know why. We know, as a fact, that that's got nothing to do with the Interstellar Song Contest. I do apologise about this. Damn, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. So it's got nothing to do with the Interstellar Song Contest. It's the only May episode I can think of. Is it even called Intergalactic Song Contest? It's not even the name of the episode. I don't even know. So, Mrs. Flood remained the mystery, and Susan Twist, or Susan Dryad, as she was known in the final, was actually just Sutek. So how does Susan Twist return? Why does Susan Twist return? And is it not just they want to give Susan Twist the credit for being Sutek? Even though the bloke that played Sutek, I can't remember his name, I do apologise. The man that played Sutek in Pyramids of Mars, First Doctor story, reprised his role in Big Finish, and then reprised his role again on TV. And I think that this year, or this round of Russell's work, is all about the gods. So the next series there might be another god. The Trickster might return, and which is irrelevant to Susan Twist or to Mrs. Flood. I don't know who Mrs. Flood is. She seems really annoying. The reason why she seems annoying is because who, in their right mind, moves house at that age, right? At a certain age in life, you don't, unless you're moving into sheltered accommodation or you're moving to a home where there's people looking after you. Unless you move to one of those, fair enough, right? That happens, and that's fair. Not many I don't know. There might be loads out there. I just might not know any. I don't know any that decide, I know what I'll do. I'll move house. I already have to sit outside with the bank on Minnie, but I'll move house. And so she moves next to Belinda Chandra. It's like, why would you want to live next to a shared house? I've seen Bad Neighbours 1 and 2, so it sounds horrific. But that could just be an oversight. And could Missy Flood really not live anywhere, but everywhere all at once? Could this have something to do with Ruby Sunday's return to Doctor Who this series? I don't know. That's a tricky question. That's why I asked it, really. It's a tricky thing to work out why Missy Flood does what she does. Susan Twist, on the other hand, was a little bit more complicated because she was in every episode of the last series as well, but she was also referenced to being in every episode of the last series. And I was thinking about this earlier, so I'm going to sing a bar from this, but the bit where it goes, there's always a twist at the end, there's always a twist at the end, there's always a twist at the end, there's always a twist at the end. That bit, well, really, I don't think Susan Twist was in that episode, per se. There's always a twist at the end, there's always a twist at the end, there's always a twist at the end. There's always a twist at the end. Yes, there's always a twist at the end. That is a blatant, obvious reference to everyone's favourite villain, Susan Twist, aka Sutek. So, really, she was in every episode of our series. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I just enforce. Yes. So who is better in this fight? Who is going to win our fictional fight as we come toward the steadily slopes of the end of this extravaganza? And if you're watching the Omnibus, well done for getting this far. Because I am currently 8 minutes into this. And in an Omnibus it'll be a lot longer than that. So, what I'm going to say is our winner is... Well, for overall knowing what's going on with her, but don't know how she's going to appear in Series 2, the winner for that would be going on with both Mrs. Flood and Susan Twist. But I've heard, and there's no one can say otherwise, including Anita Dobson, she refuses to say this. But in this series, we'll find out the results of who on earth Mrs. Flood is. And I want to know why Susan Twist returns. So if we can get that answered as well, that'll be cracking, really. And so, as we draw steadily to a close, the winner, in my opinion, if who I prefer out of them two, is Mrs. Flood. Because she's got a name that is definitely her name, not Susan Twist, where I spent the whole last series going, that can't be her name. What's the actor called? That can't be her name. Because I was like, well, I've never watched a single Doctor Who story/episode where the character has had the name of the actor. That's never happened in my world, if you will. So, there you go. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.